Alright, this video now is about how to randomly sample the different individuals into the full sampling protocol. So not only we want to be measuring characteristics of individual patches and collect flower samples, we also want to know approximately how does the population look like. Are there mostly vegetative individuals? Are there mostly flowering individuals? Is the overall coverage of trifolium quite large? So we've already sampled one individual, and then we would like to sample in a linear transect the following one. So I'm starting from the end of my patch, going 4 meters into one direction. 4 meters should roughly correspond to 3 large steps. And I'm looking at what is within half meter radius in front of me. And here I clearly don't see any kind of vegetation. So I will just mark this as an empty observation in my observation table. It can be that for several times you repeat the 3 meters distance and you still don't find any plants to observe. In that case, you just keep tallying the same empty observation instead of adding new columns in the table. So here we have nothing. We continue searching for our next trifolium individual, another 3 big steps in one direction, and here we do have a patch of trifolium repens that is immediately to my feet. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is, as long as you find leaves or flowers of trifolium, this is where your next sample is happening. So in here, I do have a patch that corresponds to a flowering patch that is appropriate for sampling because I see that there are attractive flowers for the pollination, for the pollinators that I can then preserve. So I can measure the height of the flowers as shown in the previous video. I can note all the data about pinkish flowers, herbivory, and preserved flowers into this patch. Now it can happen that in your sampling you stumble upon a patch that has leaves of trifolium repens, but it does not have any flowers. In this case, you can note the patch as V instead of giving it an individual number. And you can still note the percentage of trifolium coverage in the patch and whether there is herbivory on the leaves or not. The last case scenario you could stumble upon is a patch that can have some flowers that are attractive to pollinators that you can count and measure, but that are too old in order to be collected for preservation. In this case, you can mark the height of the flowering stems, you can mark the percentage of trifolium coverage, the number of flowers that are deemed attractive, but you're not collecting any flowers, and this is why you're going to mark this patch as an N without an individual number as well. And you continue repeating the 3 big steps, sampling again until you have a total of 20 sampled patches for which you have preserved flowers in ethanol. So you can sample more than 20 patches, but you do stop when you have 20 vials of preserved flowers.